All right, now that's how you play a basketball game. That is what everybody who is a Celtics fan has been dying to see from this team all year long. It's what's been missing in what's been a miserable season is performances like this. And it was so good in a number of ways. First of all, to get a win over a team like the Nuggets, who have been playing really exceptional basketball as of late, especially since the acquisition of Aaron Gordon. So you're going against a good team, a legitimately good team. I think the Nuggets, after the Lakers and the Clippers, I like them as a dark horse to win the West. Not if they play like they did today, but uh, I've been saying on my basketball podcast, the Pick and Roll NBA podcast with Jet and Sap. Check that one out on his YouTube channel as well. That the Nuggets are my dark horse to win the West. So I think highly of them. Jokic is the heavy favorite to win MVP, and so you beat a very very quality team. You did it on the road, which is always impressive. I know that there's not the maximum amount of fans, but still to win on the road in the NBA is hard, and there are fans there. And you're traveling to a place like Denver that does have the altitude, and so the competitive advantage is usually pretty difficult when you're playing in Denver. So you did that, and you also fought off a bad start offensively where it wasn't really your fault. The Celtics were just missing shots. So they didn't let it discourage them. They hung around and bided their time. And when the shots started to fall, which eventually they always will because law of averages, there's a reason that, you play all these games and you have accumulated all these statistics. You know that eventually shots are going to fall. They started hitting their shots, and they had at that point been able to hang around just enough to the point where when things started to click offensively for the Celtics, they were able to go on this massive run, as I mentioned in my tweet, a 40-8 run to end the game and put away the Nuggets. So it's their best win of the season in just so many ways. Also, taking into account the fact that it was a Sunday matinee game, a game that the Celtics have struggled in a lot this season. Those aren't easy because the time is totally different. You're used to playing these 7:30 starts, and this is a 3 o'clock start, and in Denver it's a 1 o'clock start. So really, just there's so many reasons why this was an impressive win, and why I think it's a no-brainer that it's the most impressive win of the season. They had a nice win against Milwaukee a couple weeks ago, but this one's just, to me, so much better than that one. And the team, for the first time this season, really looked like the Celtics that you've seen the past few years. Maybe not 2 years ago with that team that Kyrie imploded from within, but for the most part, the teams that we've come to expect, where they're sort of a gritty team that doesn't let early issues phase them, and then they close out games strong, play good defense. Brad Stevens, I thought, and I criticized him a lot. I thought he coached a really good game. I thought he used his timeouts well. I thought he was appropriately getting pissed off at the refs, who did a terrible job for both teams this game. The officiating was horrible, but it went for both sides, so it evened out. So credit to Brad Stevens, who I think coached an excellent game. And obviously the most credit always goes to the players because they're the ones on the court. And the Celtics really came together well as a team tonight, or this afternoon rather, to pull off a really, really honest to goodness impressive victory. And I see you in the chat, Leonard Kim, the Celtics make zero sense to you. And I don't know how that, you said you don't know how they pulled this off. I don't know either, but we'll both take it. And they do. They make no sense because they'll pull a game like this out of their ass, and you go, whoa, this is a team that has been to the Eastern Conference Finals of the past 3 of the 4 years, and that people had such high expectations for coming to the season, and has been nothing but disappointing. And then today they have really a remarkable victory. So really, just you can't say enough about the way the Celtics won this game. Now, what matters is going forward. Is this a meaningful victory? Because there's a difference between having it be the best win of the season and then a win that actually means something, right? Can you take this win and apply the things you did well and move forward with it, and use those in the games that you have remaining on the schedule? We've about, give or take, I think like 19 games left on the schedule. So can you do some of the same things you did tonight? Can you take some of the same lessons you learned of being patient and poised and playing within yourselves, and when you're not hitting threes, attacking the basket, can you remember to do those things and apply those things consistently in this last stretch of the season? So that could transform this game from just a nice win to a really impactful, meaningful win. So we'll see where the Celtics go from here. But as it stands, it's definitely the best win of the year for them so far. So let's get into the box score as we always do. Starters tonight were Jason Tatum, Rob Williams, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown. So the typical starting lineup. No Evan Fournier tonight as he's still out for health and safety protocols. Tatum, 33 minutes, had a rough start, but man, he had a great second half and he really closed strong. He finished with a game high 28 points coming off of his career high night the other night where he dropped 53. 28 points, 10 rebounds for Jason Tatum, who continues to rebound the ball more consistently. 2 assists, a steal, which the steal was the highlight of the game. Great pick off of a Nikola Jokic pass underneath the basket, and then a presence of mind to dish it really quick to Rob Williams for a flush. Really nice play by Tatum there. 2 of 7 from the three, not great there, but and 9 of 23 from the floor, so okay. But where really he made his money was where he made his money the other night. Getting to the free throw line, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. That's how you accumulate points in the NBA. If you're a primetime scorer, Tatum did just that. So nice to see him in back-to-back games getting to the free throw line. That's really, really encouraging. Robert Williams, I thought, played very well tonight. He had a tough task with Nikola Jokic. Jokic certainly got the best of him in a lot of periods of time, but Rob held his own. 27 minutes for him tonight, 5 of 6 from the floor. 10 points, a plus 17 on the night, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal. So good overall performance from Rob. What I'd like to see from him going forward is, and this is what I would tell him if I was the coach, you don't have to try to tear the rim off every single time you dunk the ball. Just sort of make sure you put it in there, Rob, and that you're getting the 2 points. Because past couple games, he's had at least 4 that by my count missed dunks that should be easy twos just because he's tried to literally rip the rim off the hinges of the backboard. So we know you can do these loud explosive dunks, Rob. You don't have to do it every time. Make sure you get the 2 points. That's what matters the most. So we'll move on in the starters. Kemba Walker played 33 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists from Kemba. 6 of 15 shooting, not terrible there, but then you go to the threes, 0 of 7 from 3. Yuck. Not great from Kemba there. He continues to not shoot the 3 ball well at all this year. Marcus Smart played 34 minutes. He was 4 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 5 on the free throw line. Filled up the stat sheet, though. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 14 points. For Marcus, Jaylen Brown, really good game for him. 8 of 15 from the floor in 36 minutes, 2 of 7 from 3, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 20 points. Then you go to the bench for the Celtics. Grant Williams played 20 minutes because he always does. 2 points for him, 2 rebounds, and an assist and a block. They were praising his defense a lot on Jokic, and he did have a couple of nice possessions where he used his body weight to frustrate Jokic a little bit, who was frustrated in this game. But overall, I think that the Celtics announced team was over the top with their praise of Grant Williams. He was fine. He certainly wasn't his worst game, but then he has these plays every game where he'll commit a dumb turnover and compound it with a foul in transition as opposed to getting back on defense. It's become a meme on Celtics Twitter that he does it so often. He lacks that just like a half step of quickness that is the difference between being a good NBA player and a guy who probably shouldn't be in the league or at the end of a bench. And he's playing far too much. So you guys know at this point what I think about Grant Williams. Semi Ojeleye, 9 minutes off the bench, 0 of 3 from 3. No points for him. Not a great game from Semi. Tristan Thompson played pretty well in this one. 19 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds. You'd like to see the rebounds be up a little bit, but the 9 points you'll certainly take. Peyton Pritchard, 10 minutes, no points. Only attempted 1 shot, and it wasn't a 3. Not much from Peyton Pritchard. Romeo Langford got 16 minutes in tonight. He finished 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 1 from 3. Did hit all 3 of his free throws, though. 5 rebounds, 5 points, and did play some really good defense. I think we know Romeo's got the goods defensively. His defense seems like he could be a top-notch, elite-level defensive player in the NBA. The offense is the question mark, and if you're a late lottery pick and he was one of the top recruits in high school, you'd hope he can develop offensively. The shot still looks not great to me. I know he hasn't shot it that often, but it still looks like there's a slight hitch in it. He doesn't look confident really in it. He's letting it rip from three, but it's hesitant. It's still a little bit awkward. We know he has the wrist injury, so I don't know what to say about him. I'd love for him to get it going offensively, but he at least he's showing that he's capable of being out in the court and giving you a really good skill. So we'll see as he continues to develop. But so he's played solid certainly since he's come back from the multitude of injuries and illnesses that he's had to start his NBA career. So all that amounts to a 105-87 victory for the Celtics. By the way, only gave up 8 points in that fourth quarter. I would venture to guess that's the best defensive quarter the Celtics have played this season off the top of my head. So yeah, great win, really. Nothing bad to say about it. Best win of the season. I think that's really, there's no debate. So they head to Portland now on Tuesday. That will be a very tough game against old friend Enes Kanter, who just grabbed a 30 rebound night the other night. Congratulations to him. That's pretty awesome and incredibly difficult to do in the NBA in 2021. So he'll present a matchup problem for the Celtics. The biggest matchup problem will obviously be Dame Lillard, who is an absolute beast. I think he's being criminally underrated in terms of his candidacy for MVP this year. I have him at 1 or 2. And I know the odds don't put him there right now, but he's an incredibly fun player to watch. And so the Celtics will have their hands full. And in the real story will be, as I said at the top of the show, can they turn this from the best win of the season into the most meaningful win of the season? That's what you want to see. Make it a meaningful win where you take the lessons that you learned from this game and apply the good things you did to the rest of the season. And that could completely turn around what they look like come postseason. It's just one game, and you can't read into it until the Celtics say one way or another, yes, we learned, or no, we didn't learn from this game. So all we have is the result, which is the best win of the season, and where they go from here is their choice as a team. So I'll be back on Tuesday with that game against Portland and give you my reaction then. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Leonard, Gregory Castillo, I see you in there. And I see everybody else who's in the chat and comments after the show. I always appreciate it, and I always comment back. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you on Tuesday. See you, everybody.